Welcome back to the OK Not OK podcast, where we are welcoming you back because you clearly didn't make it last week because we introduced YouTube Shorts, but you only seem to have watched that and forgot to come to the full-length video. So, for the question of the week, that means no one answered the bell, and so I've got to go back to the SportsZu yet again. So, SportsZu, let me have it. Doc, Liv Morgan became the women's crown jewel champion, but she also injured Rhea Ripley again last week on NXT. What would you do with her next? Alright, SportsZu, you hadn't asked a question about the women's division in a while, so I'll give you props for that at least. But first things first, Liv Morgan is officially a menace to society and needs to be stopped. But unfortunately at the same time, she is also very smart because she knows she cannot win a fair fight, so she makes every fight not fair. And fighting not fair has gotten her to become the women's world champion and also now the crown jewel champion. So can Liv Morgan even be stopped now without Rhea Ripley around? Because she was the one to put Rhea back on the shelf for the second time already in 2024. And they showed the clip on Crown Jewel and it was pretty horrendous. Liv had an aluminum baseball bat and it looked like Raquel had a lead pipe. She was swinging it around so fast I couldn't really tell. But nonetheless, those were two awfully brutal, deadly weapons, and you could see Rhea bleeding, and of course she was diagnosed with a broken orbital bone, and she'll be out indefinitely. So let's hope that that's sooner than later, and she can actually get some revenge, even though the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour has officially ended, and we're on to the Liv Morgan World Tour. Now, I don't know what the difference there is, but nonetheless, Rhea's got to turn that right back into the Revenge Tour when she returns. But of course, however, Adam Pearce did not do anything yet again to Liv Morgan, except for actually having a #1 contenders match with that Battle Royal on Monday Night Raw, so Liv actually has someone she'll have to face. But he didn't suspend her, he didn't fine her, he didn't do anything. And I'd like to say maybe he just isn't able to think right now with a concussion after that RKO that he suffered at Crown Jewel. But unfortunately, this is how he operates every single week, so it's literally nothing new. That said, I don't have the jurisdiction to fine or suspend or terminate someone through NXT either, so I'm not going to give her any STFs for this. So let's just assume that Liv is going to remain on the show and she is just going to have to be there every single week. And so now we have Io Sky as the #1 contender, and let's just go from there. So what am I going to do with Liv Morgan now? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make her work for a change and actually get into that wrestling ring and defend that title. Because we know Liv would love to go an indefinite time without ever having to defend that title, which she did an awfully good job of this past summer while she was waiting finally for a match against Rhea. So what would we do? Part 1, we will make her defend that title every single week until she wins the title cleanly. So she's not allowed to have any interference, or she's going to have to do it yet again the next week. So that's just going to keep repeating. But not only will it keep repeating, it will keep being more difficult for her. So in week 1, we're just going to have a good old standard match in the middle of the ring, Liv versus Io Sky on this Monday Night Raw. And if that does not reach a satisfactory conclusion with a clean finish, the next week we're going into a steel cage match. And if somehow Raquel or Dom finds a way to interfere in that match, Well, the next week we are going inside a cell so that there's almost no way that there is any interference. And yet, if somehow there is still interference after that one the following week, we will yet again go with another women's championship match. And there will be a stipulation that if anyone shows up at ringside, even if they don't do anything, Liv will lose the title. So I think that's what it's going to take. It might take 4 matches to finally have a standard finish, but whatever it takes, we're going to get a real title match between Liv and Io that ends with a pin or submission in the middle of the ring. And then, let's just say that Liv wins that match. What happens next? Well, she's had her eyes on Jade and Bianca here recently, so we're going to give her a shot. So she first will have a tag team non-title match against Bianca and Jade with Raquel on her team, obviously. And so if they do win that one, and of course, with that same stipulation, if they win it cleanly, then we will give them the very next week a title shot for that women's tag team championship. And only then, maybe Liv will finally have earned to be the champion with all of the titles on Monday Night Raw, plus that Crown Jewel championship. So we'll just have to wait and see if she can survive all those matches. And then part 2, no matter what happens in all of those matches, Liv also must participate in the Survivor Series War Games match. And we do not yet currently have any idea who might be participating in a women's War Games match or if there will be one at all. So if I'm Adam Pearce, we will be having a women's War Game match with Liv and Raquel with any 2 other female superstars on Monday Night Raw only against the 4-person team of Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. But who's gonna be on Liv's team? Well, we're letting her pick, but I don't think that Liv has too many friends these days in the women's locker room, so she's gonna have to hustle to try to find those 2 other teammates. And if I'm a betting person, which I'm not, but the SportsZu would probably be happy to place some wagers on it, I'm going to say that she could probably convince Sonya Deville to have the Pure Fusion Collective involved. So probably Zoe and Shayna, but if Sonya wants to participate, we can have her in it as well. And if we really want to, we can make it a 5-on-5 and have all 3 members of the Pure Fusion Collective and add someone else to the other side. But I'd love to do that if Rhea became available, but I don't think she will be. So 4-on-4 sounds pretty good. I think that's what we're gonna get on the guys' side, so might as well keep it even for the ladies. Well, Liv Morgan loves to be the champion without having to put in the work to ever defend her title, but under this plan, we are certainly making her go to work. But if you did not see me go to work with both of our Doktor O'Kay shows this week for Crown Jewel and for Monday Night Raw, well, go right on here so that next week you'll be able to ask the OK question of the week to @Doktor O'Kay on X. And if you are unable to do that, it's certainly going to be not okay.